Some more money. Hollywood. Look at this sexy guy. Oh, get a butt shot. Can I move him back? There we go. Look at that butt. Woo.
Specifically at the baby. I'll point things out as we go along. This is your bladder area right here. This is the baby's, this is your uterus right here. The baby's head is down against your bladder. All of the dark white is bone like the skull here. All of the gray is tissue like the placenta or afterbirth in the baby's belly. This is the opening to the birth canal down here. And the placenta or afterbirth is up here, so it doesn't look like it's anywhere near the opening. Baby's belly here, the heart, the stomach, the bladder, the top edge of the uterus. Coming over to the right is the baby's spine. And out the right side here. And come back in through the belly. Baby's thighs right there. Baby's feet are over on your left side. Ooh, baby, hold still. One foot right there. And the other foot right there. A little bit of a hand right here, and the other one crossed over. You can see a little bit of the knuckles there. And out the left side. Coming back into the baby's face. Catch this while it's cooperating here. Don't turn. See a little eyeball here and the other eye right here. If we go behind the eyelid, you can see a tiny little white ring in the eye is the lens in the baby's eye. Sometimes we'll see him look around, the eye will move back and forth. The other eye there, the baby's little nose. Coming up under the nose, you can see the little nostrils there. We look at the upper lip line here to make sure the baby doesn't have cleft lip or hair lip, and it's a nice, smooth, solid line across there.
And it looks like an Elliot.
It's not so big.
No, it wasn't the first one. The head was bigger than the whole body.
Yeah, the body, you can see the mouth opening and closing there. It's big too, the tree. Go around the back of the baby's head and the neck area here. This is a portion of the brain that we check called the cerebellum. It helps us to rule out spina bifida. The spina bifida, you know, the cord protrudes out the baby's spine. It pulls the cerebellum right here down into the neck, and this black space here disappears, so that looks good. And actually, I think there's plenty of fluid. We're not going to have too much trouble seeing things here. Coming around the back of the baby's head and the neck, we're going to follow the spine through the upper part of the back, the middle of the back, the lower back, and right down to a point at the baby's tailbone there, and that looks good. Turning in a cross section and coming up from the buttocks through the baby's little bladder. Baby has to go to the bathroom there. This is where the umbilical cord goes into the baby's belly, or the belly button. We check to make sure that that's closing up. The white circle here is the spine. There's two little gray circles on each side of the spine are the kidneys, through the stomach, through the heart, through the shoulders, the neck, and into the head again, and that all looks good. The inside of the baby's head, this line here divides the brain, and that looks great. We'll get some measurements here. Early in the pregnancy, we measure from the top of the head to the buttocks. After 12 weeks, so the baby starts to arch and curl and things like that, so we can't measure the length anymore. So then what we do is measure the head, the belly, and the thigh bone, and that helps us to make sure that they're all growing proportionately. The earlier we do the first ultrasound, the more accurate it is for dating. At 10 weeks, it's plus or minus a week. At 20 weeks, it goes to 2 weeks. And at 30 weeks, we could be as much as 3 weeks off on trying to give someone a due date, because the babies all start to grow at different rates. Some get fat around the belly, some don't. The head gets pushed into different positions and stuff, so it just makes it less and less accurate. So after the first ultrasound, we send it to your doctor. If we fall within that plus or minus range, usually they'll stay with the date they gave you. If we fall outside of it, they may readjust, they may not, depending on how sure of your dates you are. But once all of that is decided and they tell you what to stay with for a due date, then you stay with that date through the rest of the pregnancy. You don't do any more readjusting, because every ultrasound after the first one is going to show a different due date depending on how fast or slow the baby's growing. Let's say you have several ultrasounds and the due date looked like it kept getting earlier and earlier. It doesn't mean the baby's going to come any sooner, but it tells us it's growing faster than average and going to be bigger. Or if the due date looks like it keeps getting later and later, it's probably going to be on the smaller side. Belly here could be like cutting the baby in half like that and measuring around the belly. The back here, the belly button here, the black spot is the stomach. We like to see the black stomach and the black bladder. The baby drinks that fluid around it. It goes through the stomach, the kidneys, around behind the baby's spine here. This is where the aorta arches out of the heart and down, and that looks good. See the baby practicing breathing. They don't actually breathe air, but they exercise their diaphragm muscles, so we'll see the belly and the rib cage go in and out there. That's one of the signs of well-being that we check for, again, where the cord goes into the baby's belly. The umbilical cord here, we look for one large vein and 2 small arteries, and it's the proper number of vessels in the cord. Checking the baby's blood pressure, and that looks just